Okay, welcome back to Girls Frontline. This is going to be the next chapter, which is chapter 4. Obviously, I'm getting closer and closer to chapter 6, which is actually where I stopped playing the game physically, but I do log on from time to time. If you guys ever want to know, I do play on CN as well. I will probably put more information about it later on once I do a CN server video, but it's going to be fairly interesting as we are doing episode 4 message. In the meantime, I'm actually going to be I won't be using my rifle team this for this whole chapter. I'll be focusing on my second unit and my first unit. My fourth, I don't really need to use them at the moment since it wouldn't be necessary, so I will be sending them out on logistics. So bear with me, I'm going to try my best to get it out of the way as soon as possible, send them out there, and so now with chapter 4, as you guys can see, some of my attempts are kind of wonky here. Obviously, like, I have one gold here and then a bunch of bronze. It was mainly because I kind of just bomb rushed through it because I actually, if I remember, I was only on chapter 4 when I got back into actually playing it. And then here, oh, actually no, I was at chapter 5, apparently. So anyways, so let's start with 4-1, assist the mercenaries. So okay, so there's a reason why I have this map if it lets me zoom out. Really? This is okay. So apparently it's not gonna let me zoom out. Since it's a full-on vertical level. So this one is fairly interesting actually. I use this for mainly farming for events on using support echelons. As you can see, support echelons will show up here, but it's good to use 4-1 for support echelons, as everything's all together here. And all you have to do is deploy one unit here, and then deploy the support here, and quit, retreat from the mission, come back, and then it will be saved. That's what I've been doing when I wanted to do if I wanted to do the use friends support echelons for the rewards, and so it's much more easier that way to do it on this chapter, as it's much more convenient, as you don't have to wait until one unit moves out of the way, or you have to wait and then spawn them in. Yeah, you can just do it right off the bat on turn 1, retreat, come back, and then repeat. Sure, you're probably wasting resources, but it's worth it, to be honest, if you want to get that one thing you wanted, or if it was part of your bingo or anything like that. So useful information, but I mean, I'm pretty sure those of you who are watching this probably knows about it, but that's what I mainly do. It's much more faster for me to just start and start the mission, deploy the support, the friends units, and then leave. Okay, so that was an introduction to one of the other main teams of the game, but I won't say their names as for a matter of fact that they will probably be said sooner or later. So next off we're going to be doing 4-2, cut off reinforcements, and so this will be easy. Okay, so this is another interesting one, as a matter of fact that the command post is right next to me, and there's already units surrounding the area. So we'll start off with just setting out CMS's team, move her up 1, and then we will deploy 5-7's team here, and then we just wait and see what happens. This one's fairly not so complicated. Again, chapter 4 itself is a really quick, really fast missions, and it surprises me on how well, how fast everything goes, to be honest. And so with that, it's going to be interesting. So I can move 5-7 up 1 and then go straight to the command post. But if I remember correctly, the situation is 3 turns and... Okay, it's 3 turns and 5 enemies. So, technically speaking, I could move CMS 1 here, theoretically, and I already did it. I already defeated 1 enemy, which was already there. And then we could move 5-7 over to the enemy team on the other side. So that way we cover our bases and make sure that we don't get overwhelmed. But again, everything's going to be different. Some S ranks are really hard to come by due to how RNG based and how lucky you can get with the enemy units. So, and then we shall move you over here. Might as well. And so that should save the actual command post. But I won't be doing this for all the maps for S rank. I'm just doing it as it's more convenient for me, as the level difference isn't... It's still pretty high. Combat efficiency and all that is pretty up there. And that should be my 4th and 5th, or my 6th one. So I wasn't really counting. I'm just going off of numbers of how many times I saw this battle screen. But we will see what happens. I don't really care what dropped or not, but yeah, so this is pretty much... I honestly forgot the chapter name, or which number I'm on. It's been a really long recording session for me. Alright, so that should be 6. So, and my node is about to be captured next turn. We kind of don't want that to happen. So, we don't really need to worry about it, but I'm still going to take him out just in case, just to be safe. So that the node itself won't be captured if I end up screwing something up. And it's possible. It's possible for that to happen, but, you know, no big deal. Not a problem. And we're done. Oh. Okay, so that was a quick chapter, and got an S rank. I ended up killing 7 enemies on accident. Okay. So I just need to remember it's called Cutoff Reinforcement so I don't get lost. And so we will be going to break through enemy lines. Alright, so with that, this is chapter 4-3. An interesting map to say the least, as there are dragoons. I will deploy CMS's squad here, and obviously 5-7 there. So obviously I turned off auto supply because it's going to be a hassle just to try and get it. So in this situation, it's best for me to have 5-7's unit go up there, and then I could capture the heliport, or I could try to be sneaky and just do it reverse, where I have CMS's team go against the Dragoon, and then move one, which I'll most likely do to kind of protect it from if I left the Dragoon by himself, it would either move down towards the command post or move up towards the heliport that I was just at. So it's best to really just be more on the safer side, even if it would cost more, and then I'll take out the Jaegers here and make sure that, you know, they don't move up right next to the command post, because if that was to happen, then they would automatically capture the command post by the end of next turn. Again, it's always best to play it safe rather than trying to get the S as soon as possible. So now with this whole area cleared out, I could just move it here. Got the supplies, and then pretty much everything else is pretty much will fall into place if done correct. If it correctly does it. And at the moment, yeah, pretty much. Honestly, getting an S here isn't a big deal. I think it was like 3 turns or 4. No, 5 turns. Yeah, you have so much time with this. It's not even no need to stress yourself out on like trying to get an S. So here, it's a bit difficult because I want CMS's team to go through there, but since there's no clear route here that will give me 4, so it's best for me to send 5-7's team on the bottom half, as it takes you directly towards the command post. But again, getting an S on this one should be natural if you're actually careful and really look for enemy positions. Sometimes they don't position well like that, but it's best to really try your best and get the S after, once you have more resources to spend and more resources just to throw out and not care about. Like I do, but I mean, I really wasted a few doing like 2 heavy crafts, and I ended up getting Spaz and XM8, which was interesting because XM8 isn't a it's a very common 4-star to me, and she's an interesting skill. It's just a normal standard grenade launcher, grenade skill, and so compared to others, she's not really worth it, since you have another 4-star, which is M4 Stomp 2, who does 12 times damage at max, and it's also based off of her base damage as well. So it's it's not as good as it seems. So, Estimate for me is a pass, but she's still good to collect. Alright, so again, Estimate's pretty much cars to me. Uh, oh, whoa. I don't know if that was captured, but her text box didn't show up. So now we are now on 4-4. We could get PTRD? I was gonna say PTSD, I don't know why. Oh, okay. I guess I killed too many. Or my drop rate is getting more obnoxious as I record. Da, da, da. And so we shall move on to 4-4. Okay, so this one, another vertical one, but as you can see, you have 3 nodes, 1 command post, obviously, and this node is actually makes it much easier for you to capture everything. So I'm gonna send out 5/7s here and CMS up here, and pretty much I have enough. I could do whatever I like here. So pretty much I could go up and get more EXP, or I could just rush it. Doesn't really matter. This one is a fairly quick one too. Again, chapter 4 is full of quick missions where they set you up. Whoa! What happened here? I may have clicked too fast. Okay, so this happens often, and I think I might have crashed my game. So, this is awkward. Uh-oh. Okay, so that glitch happens often if you end up clicking too fast on the menu, and it will crash your game. As for me, it crashed my Nox, and so hopefully it's fixed. So usually that happens often. As you guys saw, they do have mortars as a unit. Mortars aren't really a problem in a sense, but later on when you fight bosses, bosses will have mortars as well as a skill. Some of them might have nukes that literally take up the whole positions, and only maybe 2 or 3 will be okay. So it's really good to really have certain T-dolls prepared, like ones with shields, like Thompson, G36C, having units like Suomi with high evasion. So it really all varies, but pretty much that's pretty much 4-4, if I remember correctly, because that was pretty interesting that it glitched out and it did that. So with that, we are finished with this section. Okay. Yeah. So that was again before my game crashed. Chapter 4 is just mainly full of fast missions and whatever happens happens and have all these nodes pretty much. Alright, so 4-5. This one is a farming route for I think like level 50 up to 60, 70. So it's fairly easy to get through this. Uh, Again, chapter 4 is literally just follow the lines and then there's your objective. So if, as you can see, with the second heliport, follow the line, there's your command post. Easy. So quick and easy, get through it, you're done. If you really wanted to try to get an S, you can try. Uh, Usually for me, when I did try to get an S rank on these maps, I used more than used 3, as well as again with the mortars. Usually they don't prioritize ARs. Don't prioritize targets. They just prioritize who's in front of them instead of what's in the back. That's what rifles do. So having a mixture of rifles and AR is an interesting mix-up. And so as you guys can see, I can't move on for some reason. But mortars are certainly a problem in later levels, as they have quite a do have splash damage depending, but other than that, it's just simple. If you have a rifle team, do this tactic where you pull them up, um, move one unit up forward, and then the rifles will aim at the mortar before the enemies from the back line ends up in the front line, and so you don't have to worry about the mortars. But It just depends if you're fast enough. Oh boy. But yeah, mortars aren't hard. It's just you really gotta manage where your units are and move them around if need be. But usually mortars aim for the back line. Uh, I think I did 4-5. I'm pretty sure I just did 4-5. Let me check. Um, oh wait, why am I? Yeah, okay, I did. I just did 4-5. Man, I really wish they had like a highlight section so that you know which one you clicked. So the limited drop here is M21. Yeah. Never used her. She seemed interesting design, but I never really got to use her. Alright, so, um, when it comes to fighting Intruder, she has two forms if I recall. She has her minigun version, her minigun or her rockets. I think she shoots rockets. I know she switches forms, but I don't know if it. Again, like it's been a long time since I actually fought her and saw through her full phases. So obviously, with the similarity with Chapter 4, straightforward. That's pretty much Chapter 4. It's just straight lines, and the trails are pretty much takes you straight to the command post. And so it's like it isn't really a challenge anymore due to the fact that you literally just go straight. Like it's not too crazy, not too bad. It's pretty straightforward and simple. And so pretty much, easy. It, sometimes whenever I do farm on this map for the exchange items, I tend to forget to refill my ammo and everything, and it's just a bad time. Because then after it's just again, sometimes you forget, sometimes it's good, and sometimes it isn't. But we are about to fight Intruder. Um, she does have quite a few of the trash mobs with her, but it also depends on if she will drop us M21. Which I doubt because usually the limited drops on bosses are pretty low. But her first skill is pretty interesting, but she doesn't show up until later, as you guys see it. Um, as you see, she's dead. I honestly thought we were gonna be able to see her flip her weapon over for a different uh type of attack, but I guess not. They just wanted her dead. Interesting. Alright, so with the end of chapter 4, we ended up assembling AR team. Uh, there's actually one more member to be introduced into chapter 4, into AR team, but she comes at the end of chapter 6. And as you can see, I don't even have it unlocked. So, we will go through chapter 5, and then we will enter chapter 0. As you can see, it says Seed, this is not your grave, but you are welcome in it. This one's actually a pretty interesting story, but this is actually, if I recall, a before the events of chapter 2 and 1. Um, so what happens in chapter 2 and 1, and it pretty much kind of works upon what was missing and why, AR teams running and all that shenanigans going on. But with that, I will leave you guys with chapter 4. I will be posting these hopefully daily. Uh, they will be probably my longest videos since I feel like if I was to do it separately, it would just be a waste of time since I just did it fairly quickly or as soon as possible. Um, and so I will come back to you guys with chapter 5 Chapter 0, Chapter 6, and so on and so forth for EN server. For CN, I may or may not be recording a lot on CN due to the fact that I don't really know what's going on with the events, what's supposed to be done, and what really is what's the new mechanics there. Some of them are pretty straightforward, and some of them aren't, and so I'm just gonna avoid recording the CN versions of the events, but I will most likely be encouraged to do the EN events as a matter of fact, now that I'm recording again. So with that, I hope this is an entertaining series. I will obviously be doing some other things for Girls Frontline in the future, but I am still trying to run ideas about it. But hopefully things will stay the same and consistent in a way. By the time I reach the other chapters, I should be fine with Singularity. I think after Singularity, there's going to be a few other events in between, but I am honestly really waiting for the Honkai Impact collaboration event, as well as the DJ Max collaboration as well. I honestly don't know if they will be releasing that to EN, Japan, or JP and Taiwan servers. I'm pretty sure Taiwan servers already has them. JP and EN are the ones that are a bit lackluster, but at the same time, it seems like Micah or Sunborn is really trying their best to push everything out for EN so that they're caught up with CN to an extent, but it feels a bit rushed, but it can't be as bad as Azure Lane's events where they literally push everything out all at once and it's just like a cluster of events going on. It's just crazy. So obviously, with that being said, and finishing up chapter 4, hope you guys enjoyed. Hopefully this series kind of helps you out a bit. If not, if you just want to hear me talk about Girls Frontline, then I guess this is fun. But certainly it's certainly been quite an interesting way of getting back into recording videos again. But I'm not one to say it, but again, I hope you guys enjoy this video and the series so far. I will try my best to make it as entertaining as possible, but again, this is just a phone game and it's RTS, so really I'm not that very smart when it comes to strategy. I just see what I can do and then hope for the best. But anyways, like I said, hope you guys enjoyed this video as well as the series, and if you guys want to be up to date with my social medias, I will have them linked in the description as well as on my channel itself. They are all the same, and so I think that's about it. We finished chapter 4. Intruder's done. We will be moving on to the more difficult chapters soon enough. And as always, hope you guys have a great day. And I think that's it. I don't know why I said and.